Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down the ultimate blueprint for architecting enduring, long-term trust in client relations. If you work in a field that involves caring for families or managing sensitive client needs, you already know the deal. Trust isn't something you can just instantly manufacture out of thin air. It has to be drafted line by line and built brick by brick. So we're pulling directly from our source material today to uncover exactly how to build that kind of unshakable foundation, transforming a standard everyday business interaction into a genuinely profound human connection. Let's get into it. Okay, so there's this really dangerous misconception in client relations, and it's the idea that our job is somehow complete the moment the front door clicks shut. It's so tempting to just treat that first closed deal or that initial consultation as the finish line, isn't it? But our source material is crystal clear on this. Sales don't end after the first visit. Honestly, that moment is just the groundbreaking ceremony. If we just pack up our tools and walk away when that door shuts, we're essentially abandoning the entire structure before the foundation has even had a chance to set. Because if we treat the first visit as just an isolated event, we are playing a seriously short-sighted game. We need to contrast that short-term view of the first visit with our actual long-term goal, retention and referrals. Enduring trust is literally the only bridge that spans the gap between the two. And to put that into perspective, here's a crazy fact from the source. It actually costs up to 5 times more to acquire a new client than it does to retain an existing one. 5 times. So building this bridge isn't just a nice, feel-good thing to do. It is absolutely vital for survival. So, what does this actually look like in practice? Well, our source lays out the 4 key practices for enduring trust: detailed care logs, the 1-week follow-up, proactive communication, and milestone celebration. Let's start with the absolute bedrock of this blueprint: care logs and updates. Think about it for a second. When a family entrusts you with their care, or even just their business, their baseline state is usually anxiety. They're quietly wondering, what's happening when I'm not there? Providing a highly detailed, consistent record of care is the ultimate antidote to that worry. It's the stark difference between offering a vague, yeah, everything went fine today, and delivering a crisp, transparent record that proves you are meticulously attentive. That level of detail is literally the currency of trust. Next up, we have the 1-week follow-up. Checking satisfaction immediately after that first week is absolutely vital. Why? Because that first week is an incredibly vulnerable window for families. The initial adrenaline of making a big decision has completely worn off, the reality of a new routine is setting in, and suddenly any minor friction points start to feel magnified. By setting a hard, non-negotiable calendar notification to check in, you're catching those potential issues before they can turn into deep-seated resentments. You're telling them, hey, I'm still here, and your comfort is still my priority. As the relationship continues past that onboarding phase, we have to stay ahead of the curve. And that brings us to proactive communication. Reaching out to communicate changes or concerns before the client asks. Imagine a family sitting in a darkened room, quietly stressing about a sudden change, only to have their phone light up with an update from you before they even had to ask. That is so powerful. If a client constantly has to chase you down for an update, trust is already eroding. But when you bring the update to them, trust solidifies. And to truly cement that long-term bond, we have the 4th practice: recognize and celebrate milestones. This is where a professional service actually transcends into a personal partnership. Human beings are hardwired to seek recognition, right? So acknowledging a month of successful care or sending a beautifully handwritten note to celebrate overcoming a personal hurdle, it shows that you view them as human beings on a shared journey, not just, entries in a database. It's empathy in action. Now, if we map all of this out chronologically, we get a really clear timeline. Day 1 is the first visit, moving seamlessly into week 1 for that satisfaction check, transitioning into ongoing proactive updates, and extending into the future with milestone celebrations. Our source actually distills this entire blueprint into one brilliant coaching insight. Every touchpoint with a family is a trust-building opportunity. I really want you to internalize that. There are absolutely no throwaway moments when you're working with families. Every single interaction, whether it's a quick text, a casual chat over coffee, or a formal review meeting, is a deposit into or withdrawal from the trust bank account. Recognizing the weight of those micro-moments is exactly what separates average client relations from the truly extraordinary ones. Which leads us to the ultimate formula. Consistency plus empathy equals stronger referrals. Think about it. Empathy without consistency, those are just nice words. They feel good in the moment, but they don't actually build reliance. And consistency without empathy, well, that just feels robotic and institutional. But when you inject both, when you are unfailingly reliable and genuinely warm in every single touchpoint, you create an experience so positive that clients can't help but share it. You turn your clients into your most passionate advocates. So as we wrap up this explainer, you've got the structural plans in front of you. Detailed logs, the one-week check-in, proactive updates, and milestone celebrations, all bound together by consistency and empathy. But as you step into your very next client interaction today, I want to leave you with this crucial question to challenge your routine. How will you architect trust in your next touchpoint? The blueprint is in your hands. Now it's time to build.